Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Anita the Crazy Geek Crafter. And here's a stamping Bella card. I don't do many of these cards. Unfortunately, getting a hold of this brand is increasingly hard, especially after Brexit. I usually bought them from England, but now I can't, or I can, but it will be insanely expensive, not just getting it here, but actually getting it through customs. There is a large fee, and then I have to... I don't mind paying the VAT. That's not my problem. The problem is this very big fee for taking my package and sending me a bill so I can pay the VAT, because you can't really do that easily. So I have to make do with what I've bought beforehand, and this was one of them. I really like stamping Bella designs, but I'm terrified of those thin lines when I'm coloring. I have been waiting for a good time to use this one, which is one of the guys. And again, like last week, guy cards are hard. And this one was also for someone I knew at university. It was a double birthday I was supposed to go to, where I got sick. So maybe I can keep this one for a year too. We'll wait and see. Since I actually colored this inspired by the birthday boy. Are you allowed to call them boys at this age? Well, I painted him inspired by one of the looks of the birthday person. So maybe I'll keep it for a year and he can have it next year, I don't know. But nevertheless, the dreaded stamping Bella lines. Since they do rubber stamps, they can make far thinner lines than you can do with the clear stamps that you normally see the industry using. And that is why some companies hold on to the old ways. And it's pretty. It's just hard to position things because you can't see what you're doing. In this case, I ended up with alignment that was near perfect, so not a problem. To go with this oddball, I picked the blacks and reds. And of course some brown for the hair and a pale face color for the face and hands. My friend has these very iconic pants that are split down the middle, so that one side is primarily red and the other one is black. I think they're actually plaid, the red part, with black in it. But primarily, when you see them at a distance, it looks like his pants are two colors. And I love those pants. I couldn't wear them, but he looks great in them. I did make a template so I could plug in the colors so I wouldn't get confused halfway through my coloring. I tend to do that sometimes. So a mock-up is a great solution for keeping track of where everything goes. This Oddball has a collar, and I also put some metal buttons on his boots with this silver pen. And that's actually all the shiny details on this card. Like last week, I am trying to mix up the sweet things and the more rough things. Now my Oddball is a bit rough looking, so I picked out this confetti paper to soften the experience. And it is a birthday, so confetti is on point, I'd say. There we go. This also brings some extra color to the card, now that I only colored my Oddball in red and black and brown. Here we go. Not that you're going to see that much of it at this point, but it does make it festive, even with his sour face. I don't know why I when they came out with this line, I just thought it was perfect for so many things. And I love the sentiment as well. This guy I got to know studying English at university, and this quote, he will instinctively know where it's from, because it does say actually underneath that it's Lewis who wrote it, the guy who wrote Alice in Wonderland, but with the embossing it's actually unreadable. You can read the sentiment but not who wrote it, so but he will know. He will definitely know. To make the sentiment stand less out, or I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but the sentiment is very big and it would take up a lot of space on the card and cover up a lot of my coloring. So therefore I'm stamping it on vellum, and I'll need to heat emboss it because I don't have Stas-On, which is an ink that actually stays on the vellum or acetate when you stamp it. But I don't own any, so heat embossing is the next best thing. Unfortunately, it does blur the text a tiny bit, but I can live with that, since it is one of my only options for getting this onto vellum. And as you can see, the sentiment is quite big. I also noticed that the paper had gotten some damage when I put it through the die cutting machine. It got some indents, so I'm just ripping off part of it. I don't need it anyway, so why cover up the background when you can just tear it roughly down the middle. I'm going to pop up my Oddball, and now I have to figure out how to put the vellum on without it showing, and where to put it. And for that, I'm going to use some sprinkles. Just have to find them. These are new to me, but I love them. They are the Danish flag, and we always use it, just about always, for birthdays, anniversaries, baptisms, you name it, weddings, whatever. We use our flag for that. It's a celebration thing. So I'm going to use these clay flags to adhere my banner to the card. Now this is not a lot of space for glue, but it should be fine. And then a few extra flags for embellishment here on this quote-unquote empty space beside my Oddball. And that will make the card. I won't add any glitter or anything else to it. This will be it. So I hope you enjoyed this card and that you'll be back next week for another one. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening, or night.